sense?
It does, but what are how do we use the words we have? How do we, I'm live streaming right now, guys, because this is a great topic. And this is how I do some of my marketing too, by the way. How do we, what are the things that we can do to make the prospect fall in love with us? It's a question I ask every day. First thing I like to do is get them on Zoom. How much easier is the selling environment when we have this thing going? Yeah. How many of us have gotten in our car? Who remembers getting in your car, driving to the place, knocking on the door, waiting to come in, go in, or meet them at the property, or they don't show up or they're late? So physical appearance has an impact, doesn't it? Being there physically.
It's very important, because when you go to look at the property with a seller, it's much more engaging than speaking to them on the phone and try to go back and forth. Well, before the Zoom and Skype and prior to the COVID, it was a lot better, because they see who you are, you see who they are, and then the questions are, you're more personable with that person.
So are we using the technology? Let's start real simple. Are we using, I'm an Apple guy. I use FaceTime all the time. You guys know I can use Skype. I love Zoom. Okay, I've been using Zoom before this whole thing, because how many more people can I see face-to-face? Better selling environment. Okay, you see the back of my house here, or whatever, my deck, and everything like that. How many more people in terms of practicality can I see using technology?
A lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. So that's one. Let's go back to what Horace said. How do we get them to fall in love with us? What do we use the same? What does everybody say? That's so damn boring. Everybody does the same. How are you today? And they never wait for the answer. You ever notice that? No. Hi, Randy, how are you today? Oh, Randy, we got a special on coffee mugs today. You will not believe how good these coffee mugs are. It's a limited special. Look, they got little hand-painted grapes on them. Okay. They always ask, how are you? And I'm the only guy who tries to answer, oh, it's been a bad day. My goldfish died. The toilet's plugged up and the plunger broke and got stuck inside. I have a lot of fun. I get some of my best practice sessions from other salespeople calling me. There's something wrong with me. I love to torture telemarketers. I have an extra chromosome or something. I love it when I hit the record and then I put it on YouTube, because I get a gazillion hits or views. One of my best marketing videos is try to torture a telemarketer. It's had tens of thousands of hits. So when we get on the phone, should we say the same old tired stuff? How do we engage them and get this back to the basics though? How do we engage somebody right away and get them to I love my doctor. Let me give you an example. I have my doctor, I love him. He weighs about 105 pounds. He looks like he's 17 years old. He's really 38 or something. And he's the sweetest guy in the world. He actually listens to me. He says, Claude, keep doing what you're doing. I really like your blood pressure and everything. I wish all my patients were working as hard in their diet and exercise as you. I love this guy. Okay. I give him, on all the doctor reviews, I give him 5 stars. Yeah, I said, I even type in, I'm reluctant to give him a review because he's too busy already. He's with Sharp Breeze Steely, a big hospital thing in Southern California and everything. This guy makes me love him platonically for one reason. What is it?
He strokes and nurtures you.
Yeah, everybody was right. Stroking, he listens. What else was there?
And he asks questions to get a diagnosis, not assume what the issue you're walking in with.
Yeah, he's so good on that. So how do we do all this? Is good stuff that we're talking about, but we got a prospect. We've never made a warm prospect, cold call prospect, or follow-up prospect. How do we engage them so that they pay attention to us? They become interested in us, just like the girl at the kiosk. Okay, pretty young girl. Okay, I'll go up to the kiosk, but she engaged me. she engaged me she started asking, how important is it to ask the right questions rather than do that boring script?
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get somebody, and if you get somebody interested, then you find out their need or greed, as I call it, their pain, their agony, their ecstasy. Why does he want to buy? Why does he need a t-shirt? Why does he, or what do you want to, why are you here in my doctor's office, my lawyer's office? Why are we calling this realtor? I have vacant land right now. Why are we talking about this vacant land? You know, how do you engage people? If you know what the general topic is, buyer, seller, investor, how do you engage them into a nice conversation?
Man, what brought you, what made you even consider investing in vacant land?
Oh, my grandmother left it to me years ago. You're like the 10th guy to call me, on this thing. I'm not ready to give it. I'm not ready to give it away, man.
Oh, I could definitely understand that. It seems like it's been in the family for a while, and I don't want to give it away either. But I saw you were as part being an owner, and I'm looking to see if we could just possibly discuss you looking at a way to we could make a deal today in order so you could get payments over time. Is that something you consider?
Well, maybe. Okay,
maybe.
Okay, make it more. Okay. You're trying to kiss me and you haven't bought me a drink yet. Okay, it's my favorite analogy. I'm sorry. How do you get me over? Well, gee, that property that's probably worth some money now. It's not costing any money, is it? Taxes and upkeep and stuff like that. Could you couldn't use an extra $10,000-$20,000, could you?
Yes, I could.
Imagine for a moment. I don't know what do you do for a living, sir? What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm Horace.
Horace, I'm Claude. Thank you so much. You've been so nice to me on the phone. Stroke and nurture.
Sure.
Write that down. Stroke and nurture all the time. Give him compliments. Sincere, but you got to be a good actor. What happens when we get a bullshit compliment?
It goes to the wayside.
This guy just wants his hand on my wallet. He's just saying whatever he thinks I want to hear. Do you ever get that feeling from a salesperson who's manipulative and giving you, what's the word, pandering?
Yep,
pandering.
Pandering. When you get that salesperson, they're just being nice to you because they want your money. What's your instant reaction?
Get away from them.
Flee.
Oh, get the garlic, honey. There's a vampire at the door. They only come in if you invite them, okay? Stay back, right? What happens if we get somebody that they're interesting, they're asking us questions about, it's a great way to get somebody's attention. Hey, Randy, what brand iced tea is that? I'm sorry to change the subject, but.
That's an Arizona iced tea. I get them down at local Dollar General.
How do you like that? They're a little more expensive than some of the off brands, though. I'd love your opinion. Which is that the best? I love iced tea, man. I drink gallons of this stuff.
They're under $1 a can, so I'm happy with them.
Okay, and are they better than some of the store generic brands and stuff like that? Thank you for. I'm just trying to. I want to buy a lot of iced tea. I'm having a family barbecue and reunion, and man, these people, they love iced tea.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine with them. They're sweet tea. They're good.
Thank you so much for your opinion. I knew you. Boom. This is my example. Okay. You find something to stroke or nurture about. Sir, I don't understand. You sound like how many years you've been in business? How long? You know what you're talking about. You've been 15 years? Alan, you've been 15 years as a real estate agent. You probably know what you're talking about. You know your real estate.
Just a bit. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, what's the problem? So you want to get into a property right now? You're calling me about my property? That's what I don't understand. If you've been in real estate all these years, how come you're calling me for my property today?
Hey, that's a good question. Actually, I don't know why. I don't know why. I got a notification on my phone.
When you figure it out,
I got a notification on my phone.
Yeah. When you figure it out, why don't you just call me back?
Perhaps.
Okay. Okay, so you got to see. I saw your home. I saw the pictures on Zillow. You got a lot of pride of ownership in that. I looked at that, and the lawn was mowed, and there's beautiful flowers. I really liked your home. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking to get into a home today.
Oh, well, what made you choose to call me? I'm really busy, Claude. But can I ask you a couple of questions?
Weren't you listening? I told you I saw your home. I really liked it. It was manicured and taken nice care of. You're the owner, right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Why are you selling?
Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah. Why are you selling this home? It's a beautiful home.
It doesn't fit my 20 Chihuahuas, so I need a bigger place.
The Chihuahuas had to come into this, no matter what. It was a lady at the airport yesterday. She had to bring her Chihuahua. Her Chihuahua was her service dog. Had the smallest, had the little service dog thing. This thing weighed about a hamburger, a double at In-N-Out weighed more than this dog. And this was a service dog. Where's he going? You know. It's funny. Sir, but it's not, there's no urgency here, right? Yeah, I mean, why don't you just, so you're in no rush to sell it, right?
Not necessarily. Thanks for asking though, but yeah, I'm on the fence.
Oh, okay. So no rush if you sell it today, if you sell it a year or two from today, no big deal, right?
I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't take a year or two.
Well, but there's no, okay, off the role play. What am I trying to do here in this conversation? What am I trying to determine?
The motivation.
Urgency.
You're all right. Yeah. On a 1 through 10, what is Alan? Alan's doing this beautifully, by the way. Thank you. That was a sincere stroke. I meant that. These role plays sometimes take, they're hard. I think this is the best way to learn, just practicing. Well, on a 1 through 10, 10 meaning urgent. What was Alan?
About a 2.
Yeah. How much time should I spend on a 2?
30 seconds.
3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So if I know he's a 2, he doesn't have the need, he doesn't have the authority, he doesn't have the money, there's just nothing there. What's the next best thing I can do with this guy besides get off the phone?
Practice.
Practice, baby. Just practice. Have fun with this guy. So go back in, use your scarcity, use your reciprocity, use your redirection to see, can you engage this person into a conversation in some manner? Can you control the process? And this is how we sound different from all the competition out there. Those Chihuahuas are barking, Alan. I had to unmute yourself when he takes a break. I think my skill is I used to be very shy. I mean, really, I look down. I always tell you guys, when I was dating Claudia, I used to write little cheat sheet notes, talking points. Because I hated those. Do you ever have a conversation or a date or something and there's that silence? How uncomfortable is that? Oh,
depends on whether there's a comfortable silence or not.
Usually I'm talking about blind date, not knowing what the hell to talk about anymore.
No, I've never had that problem.
Oh, God, I wish I did. I had it. That some people, and anyway, now can I engage somebody in a conversation that's informative, entertaining, gets them interested in me? And then can I find out that information rather than go right into the presentation? I think premature presentation is the death of income, death of sales. I think the minute you sound like everyone else, you're already.
Yep.
I think your rejection rate, what's the rejection rate? Randy, you were talking about 500 postcards out there, okay?
Right.
And out of those 500, you're trying to get 4, 5, 6% response rate.
Yeah, I think that'd be a tremendous response rate if I could get 5%.
Well, that'd be awesome. And then let's say, the thing about it is, can we have enough people with need, immediate pain, immediate need? You get a headache. What do we all reach for the minute we get a headache? Relief, aspirin, right? Relief. We're hungry. What do? We go into the fridge. We like that immediate gratification. We've got to find out what is their true sore point? What is their open nerve point?
Needs, greeds, and pain.
And if they don't give, but do they give it to us voluntarily all the time?
No, but if you talk to them, you can generally draw it out of them.
How? Let's talk about that. How do you draw it out of somebody who's got the force field up? How do you get them to say, if you approach me as a typical salesperson, oh, sir, come over here to my kiosk here. We got a special right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a flight to catch. As opposed to a pretty girl says, I like that. I like that shirt you have on. Where do you look? Oh, wow. Something like that. You had me at, what did they say in Jerry Maguire? I said this earlier too. I think Randy.
You had me at hello?
You had me at hello. How do we get them at hello? Do we have to use a little reverse psychology, redirection?
Sometimes.
Oh yeah. Isn't a redirection one of the best ways to get somebody engaged? Sir, I don't understand. Obviously you've been in business for a long time. You obviously know what you're talking about. Why is this? I can't believe this. Why is this property so hard to sell? I mean, I don't understand. Why is it still on the market? In this hot market, that thing should have sold in a New York minute. Well, there isn't a problem or something you could share with me, is there?
No, there's no problem with it. I got it from Grandma Lee, and it's just been sitting there. We just haven't done much with it because I live here in Georgia and the property's in Missouri. And
I love Missouri. Oh, whereabouts?
Missoula.
I don't know. You got to make up something, right? I love it. Let me. You wouldn't want to sell it today, though, right?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of a family property.
Oh, then you want to keep it. It's a legacy. You want to keep it in the family for the next generation. I understand that.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that, but it's if I do that, it probably could cost me $20,000 fix it up, get it real good and livable for the kids.
You get a credit list and you get your credit cards out. What are you going to do? You can't take it with you. You spend the money and you fix it up, right? Not a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend that much money on that old house.
Okay, off the role play. What just happened?
Effie started talking. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to spend the money on to repair the house.
Finally got a cookie. I finally got something. I finally got a little bit. Oh, a lot of money. Then you tell a story, which is another way to get them to fall in love with. I had a friend, same situation. He inherited some land. It was a family land. It was grandma's land or grandma's house. He needed about 20, 30,000 to fix up. He fixed it up. He went into debt. He borrowed money. And in the end, he lost his house and he went bankrupt and ruined his credit. And he got a divorce and the Chihuahuas won't even go take a walk with him anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the saddest story you've ever heard? All because, so I understand where you're coming from, sir. Yeah, what? Let me ask you something before I go. A little scarcity there. You see how before I go, I do all these different things, redirection, a little scarcity, a little reciprocity, a little storytelling, all these different little psychological triggers with a little bit of acting skill make you this is your superpower. This is what makes you a dangerous salesperson. But it's hard to do spontaneously sometimes. It takes practice, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And everything. So the next move, Horace, what would be the next move you would do at Randy? Now that you told the story about your friend who bankrupt, lost his Chihuahuas, lost his home, fixing up the property, which is the same thing Randy's considering now. You just told him this horrible story. Okay, what can you do? What can you say to him now while he's in that emotional twilight zone?
Randy, that is not something that you're going through at this moment, is it?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Trying to figure out what I want to do.
Man, Randy, it seems like you've been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah, a couple of years. I don't know if I want to spend the money and let the kids have the house or just sell the damn thing. You know how it goes.
I could definitely agree with that, and thank you for telling me. So how much longer you want to keep thinking about it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Could that make it so that today would be the last day you have to think about it?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Okay, off the role play. Randy's playing this very well right now. Okay, he's really playing this very cool. Is Randy emotionally involved right now?
No.
No. How do we get, what do we need to talk about to get people emotional? What's one of the best things in the world to get them
money?
The money.
Money. Do the imagine and money thing and see if you can win them over a little bit.
Got it. Okay, Randy, just imagine that you know that house that your grandmother left for you. We could come in and you don't have to pay any more annual taxes. You don't have to worry about the mortgage. You don't have to worry about fixing those repairs that you've been putting off for so long. And you could have that done within the next 30 days, Randy. What's the best price you could give me today, Randy?
Well, ain't no mortgage on it. Grandma paid it off a long time ago. I don't know. I was looking in the Zillow in the neighborhood, the sales and everything. It looks like it's worth probably about $150,000. Could you offer me that?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a breath. Oh, time out here. Take a breath now. Okay. Okay, remember, sometimes we want to close people up front, or we want a commitment up front. Hi, Felipe. How do you close? Can you get a commitment from him up front now, Horace, before you negotiate? Commitment before you get the price, the terms, and negotiate. Can you get a preemptive commitment from Randy right now? You got Randy. Say that question again. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I was looking at Zillow, and it looks like everything in the neighborhood's going for about 150. Can you get me that?
That's awesome, Randy. Great for doing your homework. If you could get $150,000 today, could we move forward?
Try it one more time. I'm sorry to micromanage you here. Use the word. Felipe is reading my mind. What's the magic word that he's missing, Felipe?
Imagine. For a moment. Or let's pretend for a minute that I go ahead and get you the $150,000 so you can go ahead and move on with your life, pay those bills. That's not something you want to get going today, or do you?
Got it.
Let Horace use that imagine word or something like that, and then you want to get
Felipe.
And you got to get that today commitment in there. Imagine for a moment. Go ahead, Horace. You got it, man.
Randy, let's suppose we could get you that $150,000 today. Is that something we could move forward with today?
Yeah, I think we could do that. Yeah, for 150 today.
What?
Yeah, I believe we can do that for 150 today.
You believe?
Yeah, we get for 150. We can do it.
Boom! Boom!
He did that. He was sneaky. First he said think, then he said believe. What do we call those kind of words?
Weasel words.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy, garbage.
Why does bullshit excuses?
I'm sorry?
Bullshit excuses to not come in.
Why does the prospect use these? First of all, a little question here. Does the prospect use those words intentionally or consciously or unconsciously? Let's psychobabble for a minute here.
I think unconsciously.
I agree completely. Why do they unconsciously always use maybe, I'll think about it, sounds good, but possibly, could, should, why do they unconsciously, subconsciously use those words all the time? They don't even know they're using them.
Autopilot.
Yeah, but for what reason?
Defense.
Go deep. What do you mean defense? Come on, go deep.
They're afraid of commitment.
Oh, thank you. They don't want to make a commitment. And even though they like the person and everything else, somewhere in the back of their head, there's a little devil and angel. They say, you might change your mind. Your wife's going to be mad at you if you spend this money. You better, I know you're telling this guy you want to do it, possibly, but there better be a fire escape. There better be a back door out of this deal. And they do that. Alan, you're right. They do it automatically. But why? You got to ask yourself, why do they unconsciously always have an escape plan?
They're primed for that because of the previous experiences. Like they have this psychological resistance to commitment. And I mean, it's the prospect system. They've been getting away with it for years.
It works, doesn't it work?
And it works because you get free consultation, and then when you have the one salesperson, a gut salesperson that it's able to help me understand. Let's clarify. You think or you know, and you're not being pushy. You're not being manipulative. You're just trying to get a commitment or get out. It's fair for us. We have rights as salespeople.
How do we defeat the guy? Okay, most salespeople get emotionally involved. They hear what they want to hear. When you're 99% of your salespeople, when they hear, maybe we could do this deal. This sounds pretty good. I'm going to give this a lot of thought and everything. What is the amateur salespeople? What are they hearing?
They're hearing yes, and they're thinking about that money in their pocket. They're walking out the door with that money in their pocket, and the customer's thinking, nah, this shit ain't happening.
Yeah. So how great, how wonderful is the prospect system? They call us up, they get the information for free, they shop around, they get prices, they get all this stuff. And the salesman hears what he or she wants to hear.
Yes.
Who's in control?
The customer.
Yeah, all the time. So how acutely do we have to listen for those maybe, probably, should have, could have words, those wishy-washy, maybe non-committal words?
A lot. That's the main thing you got to do.
Should we put up with those words? When should we close somebody? I don't care if you're selling a BMW, $120,000 Lexus or BMW or Amway shampoo or whatever. When should we close or get a commitment with the prospect? The first call, the second, the third, the 10th?
First call.
I hate follow-up. Do you know why? Because it means I didn't close the deal on the first phone call, the first meeting. Is there something wrong with a salesperson? I think there's something wrong with me teaching you guys to close, get commitment, get information, or get out in the first phone call. What is wrong with this system?
Absolutely nothing.
What did I just do, by the way, Tiff?
Redirection.
Did everybody see it?
Yes.
I went negative.
What is wrong?
Beating myself up, and Felipe just saved me. It's so stealth. So you got to get that control back. Sir, I don't understand when you say maybe. Is that maybe yes or maybe no? Maybe no, Alan.
Maybe yes.
What do I need to get to absolute yes? I don't want you to do. I want you to feel comfortable. I've made a decision. I want to do business with you. I want to solve this problem on your grandma's home, but I don't want you to do something. I know we just met. You don't mind if I be totally transparent with you, do you, sir?
Please do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Sometimes I get into trouble, but I like to tell people the truth. And you strike me, as Jack Nicholson said, you can handle the truth, right?
100%.
Yeah, you got this property. It's costing you all this money and everything like that. Suppose for a minute we could do this deal today. Not maybe yes. What do you need from me for us to make a commitment as one gentleman to another to do a deal right now? I want to do business. I made a decision. I want to do a deal with you.
I don't know, because somebody called me and they said they were going to submit an offer, and
did they?
They haven't, and
Did they send you a check? I'm sorry to interrupt, but did they send you a contract, a check, or anything?
No, not yet. But
I'm ready to do it now. You know what?
They might never will. And my wife and I just got to come to a decision.
Well, would you like to do business now?
Well, don't take. Now this happened to me yesterday. Now don't take too much time on it, but could you just send me over a sample of the contract? I just wanted to see the verbiage.
What would you, great. I'd love to do that. I'd like to send you a real contract, not a sample, because would you like to make money and get this problem off your back? What would you like to see? Listen to my words carefully, guys. What would you like to see in that contract that I'm going to write and send to you right now so that you at 2:30 this afternoon, you and I can do a deal? What do you need in that contract? You mind if I take notes? Tell me what you want to see in that contract so that you and I can make a commitment and do a deal today, like one man to another.
All right, off the role play. I should have asked that question, but here's how it went. Well, so you're telling me that once you put that family in there, are you going to be legally responsible at all? Like,
that's a great point. Stroke, whatever he says, give him a stroke, give him a cookie.
Yeah.
Chris Rock, give him a cookie. There's a great Chris Rock on YouTube where a guy says, I take care of my kids. He says, hey man, you're supposed to take care of your kids. What do you want, a cookie for this?
Yeah, there's no defense against a stroke and pumping their ego. It's like, oh, you know what? That's a very good question. You're so smart. I really enjoy doing business with people that are like, they're asking the right questions and then put it back on them. You must be asking that for a reason. Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I didn't ask. Okay.
Yeah. Turn it around on them. Use your authority. So what was that question again? Give me that. You kind of attacked me there. Give me that one more time, Alan.
Oh,
that was a good one.
Well, so you're telling me once you put the family in there, is there anything that you're going to be legally responsible after you transfer the contract to them?
What would you? That's a good point. What's your real concern? Help me to understand, sir. This is where you play stupid a little bit.
Gotcha.
Feigning ignorance, I call it. You know the answer. You can't wait. You're like the kid at school who did his homework. Ooh. What you want to do is now feigning. I'm not sure if I understand, sir. What do you mean? You must have asked that question for an important reason. Could you share that with me? I want to. What do you mean by that?
Gotcha. Well, can I tell you what I responded with, and you tell me how you would have done it?
Hold on.
Okay.
Stay on the same topic here. What I'm trying to do is get to the truth, the big T here. Why are you really asking that question? What's the real reason you're asking that question?
Sir, you know what, sir? Maybe it's not a good fit for you, and you're just looking for a reason to tell me no. So if you want to say no right now, now's the time, sir.
It's a trust issue. It's a credibility issue, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
He doesn't know you. He doesn't trust you. You got to. It's like going. Do you ever go to a? I'm going to be a little. Do you ever go to a place and someone cut one and it's like everyone's trying to pretend that they don't smell it and they move away out all of a sudden? Or there's a big bad ugly fart in the room and nobody wants to acknowledge it. You've got to acknowledge. Bad analogy. Sorry, people.
Address the fart in the room. Yeah, that's good.
Fart in the room analogy. We'd like to use the flatulence word. The thing is, you know why he's asking that question. It's credibility. He doesn't know you. He doesn't trust you right now.
99%, it's about the money. 99% of the time, it's about the money. The rest of the 1% is the trust or credibility issue. And when you go head on and you address that and you kind of like, you bring it up front and you say like, hey, it's okay, sir. I've made a decision. I want to do business with you, but it really sounds like, there's probably, here there's a little bit of a trust issue. Now, let's pretend for a minute and imagine if I could present you with references that are of your satisfaction. How many do you need? And then
what do you want? References? Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. Yeah, send me over a couple. That's a good idea. Thank
Perfect.
you.
And how many do you need, sir? 3, 6,
Oh,
9?
not that many. One or two. I mean,
One or I'll send you 3 because I want to make sure that when we do business, you feel very comfortable. So I'll give you the numbers, emails, and
okay. Yeah, thank you. Hey, listen, I gotta go. I gotta pick up my wife and Chihuahuas right now.
Are they on the grooming salon?
Yeah. They go to the same one.
They go to the same.
So okay, so just and again, I gotta go too because I'm actually calling 3 other people. Somebody's gonna take this deal today. Now let me
close me with the references right now. Close me right now.
So if I can provide you with some references, and those are to your satisfaction, what's gonna happen at 4:30 this afternoon when we talk? Are we gonna be in a position where we can make a decision? And by the way, if that decision is no, that's totally okay.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get to all these people today. I mean, it's a really
You probably
busy
will.
day.
You probably will because my clients are my extended family and they're my best sales force. Like you call them and they will just confirm everything that you and I talked about. But it's okay. You need to figure it out for yourself. You're a smart guy.
Off the role play, I would suggest to be a little bit more assertive here.
More assertive. Okay. Let's reverse it.
No, you have to call them today. You brought this up. Well, I want to do business with you. If you don't want to do the deal, say no to me right now. But you know what? You're going to talk to these people and you're going to have regrets that you didn't make a commitment with me right now. The only thing I'm asking in return is that we speak at 5:30 and you either say yes or you fire me. Can you do that for me, sir? Please?
I think I can.
Think?
I believe I can.
Believe?
I'll do it. I'll call these people up and then at 4:30 we can talk. And again, I'm not saying I'm going to sign the contract, but I'll give you an answer.
That answer will be yes or no, and we will make a decision today at 4:30. Do I have your word as one man to another?
Yes, sir. You got my word.
You're a gentleman. Thank you, sir. Boom.
Boom.
It's a weak commitment, but I got something. I got another meeting and I got a commitment to do yes or no at the end. That's better than I'll call you next week. I'll follow up. I'll send you this and that. I understand you're busy. Don't worry. Go pick up your wife and Chihuahuas. That's the amateur sales guy. The gut sale, we call it guts for a reason, because it's a little bit assertive. Because isn't it in the best interest of that prospect to do business with us as opposed to everyone else out there? I think so.
But it also helps you you're not chasing, calling, getting answering machines every 2 days.
Yeah. I'd rather get a quick no right now than chase this guy and leave voicemails and messages. I think I don't have the patience for that. Maybe you guys.
And one of the psychological triggers is authority. People respect the authority. If you go to the doctor to get your annual checkup and the doctor says, you know what, you're too fat, you're smoking too much, and you need to cut down on food, otherwise you're just gonna, you're a time bomb. I mean, yeah, he told you what you needed to hear, not what you want to hear. And in guts, a lot of times it gets dangerous because we tell the prospects what they need to hear. Do
you think that's important, Felipe, in a society where everybody has tender little snowflake feelings? I'm not going to get political here, okay? But where everybody
not this month, please.
Okay, yes. Where everybody's a little sensitive. Do you think there's a place to be totally honest and direct with people, and maybe bruise their feelings a little, but then make them realize, you know what, he's right. No one's ever spoken to me that way. This guy, this guy is different, or girl. Do you think there's room for that in persuasion and influence in sales? I do.
Society needs more of that.
I think
because when I see somebody that it's willing to be that open, it tells me that this person cares about me.
Why do we love Clint Eastwood and Charlie Bronson and all those old movies, those cowboy spaghetti westerns, where Charlie Bronson goes and goes after all the bad? Why do we love those movies so much?
Because there's good guys and bad guys and very little in
Yes.
between.
It's good guys and bad guys. It's simple. We understand. He's bad. Go ahead, Clint, shoot him. You know, don't you love? I love old westerns, especially Clint Eastwood westerns. And he's the strong, silent type of cowboy. You know, he's the Gary Cooper. You know, the Shane. You know, he's the good versus evil guy. Don't we want to get back to that simplicity, that honesty in sales? Can we do that?
Yeah, that's the best way to sell.
But yeah, it's so dangerous. Why? So dangerous. Can you be honest
Nobody
with
sells
people?
that
They
way.
may not like you. But go ahead, Randy.
You say nobody sells that way.
Nobody sells that way. You may not like me, but you're sure going to think about me when we get off this phone call. You know, sales is so dangerous. Why? Why is sales so? I love sales. I study sales every day. I read psychology books. I role play and teach all day. Why do I love this different kind of maybe confrontational type of selling? Why do I love it so much?
It strokes your ego as the good guy.
Yeah, I can play
Fun.
It's fun. It strokes my ego. Randy's right. True. I'm on sodium pentothal. Okay. It does stroke your ego when you're in control and you're not getting beat up. You know, sales is tough. Most people get the heck kicked. How do most people go on day to day? Why is sales the highest paid profession in the world, but also the highest turnover? Why do only a few people make all the money in the world and the other 99% struggle?
Because as you're
Tough
saying,
way to make a living.
It's a tough way to make a living. So
Those-
go ahead.
those other ones have a system that they go to every day to make sure they get the rewards they want.
Yeah, yeah. Sales is so dangerous, but it's so unbelievably unbelievably rewarding. If you sell in a different way and you protect, I think you got to protect your ego. Last word, because we got to go here. I think if you don't protect yourself, if you don't, the salesman comes first in my world. If you get the crap beat out of you every day, how do you do this? You could have the best product in the world, the best boss, the best sales tools, best leads and everything. But you're going out there and you're getting rejection all day long. I can't take that. My ego won't stand for that. You know, I cry at Disney movies, man. I can't take that kind of sadness and rejection. Okay. Isn't it worth it to sell in a different way and feel good about yourself, even when you don't make a sale? But then when you do make a sale, tell me how good that feels. Let's talk about that next time. I think that's the second best feeling in the world. I always call it.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, really. Hey, you guys are great, man. Thank you. Give yourselves a round here. This was a great, a little bit long, sorry. Sometimes the topics are so interesting. I just want to go on forever on them. Great
Thank you.
stuff. Just get out there, take away what you can, talk to people, sound different. Don't let them manipulate you, lie to you, use wishy-washy words. It's okay to be assertive with them sometimes. And it's okay to get commitment and close when?
Today.
Amen. Take care, guys.
Thanks,
Take
everyone.
care.
Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.